Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is all about Night Thrasher. So this guy here, so as you know, a while ago I picked this up as a 6-star and I'm actually getting back into champion guides, champion reviews and those kind of things. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. It's just going to review this character, look at the amount of damage output this guy does, and also little kind of tips and tricks with kind of producing more damage based on synergies and other things. I first got my hands on this guy on behalf of the CCP, so content contributor program, and basically I didn't really find anything too amazing about him, and that was largely, again, goes down to the problem that we all have, that we're reviewing 4-star versions, and look, let's face it, we want to see the 5-star ones, we want to see the 6-star ones, we want to be able to kind of get into the hype, and also just like look at, okay, damage output good, is the debuff abilities that are good, and this guy does have that, but he only really gets strong when it's 5-star and 6-star versions. The name of the game with this guy is applying as many debuff effects as possible to positively gain things like critical ratings, then obviously damage output more. But his debuff effects, just like having a shock, a incinerate, a bleed, as well as a disorientate and deliberate. There's so many that could be applied on the enemy in order to benefit you in your damage output, which I do really enjoy, but obviously it's a bit of a downside if the enemy is kind of immunity to him. Yeah, I could just strip it down by 1, but it's just kind of annoying because you would like as many debuffs on as possible. It's also not too shabby to be incinerate immune and as well have physical resistance. Unfortunately, on paper, the unawakened version doesn't really look like it's much cop, especially when you consider that you really want and would really love an awakened version. Especially when you look at this. So heavy attacks have a chance to put a debuff effect on, which is a taunt, similar to a champion like Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, which has that debuff effect on. That's another debuff effect, another original debuff effect that is going to be helpful to you. Not to mention the fact that you can get a Fury buff, which max 10 stacks. Man, I would love to see that. And as well, when you get knocked out, you have a chance to purify some debuffs as well. So you've got stuff that's going to benefit you if you've got debuff effects on you, but as well your damage output is going to grow a huge amount by the fact of having a taunt, which is an extra debuff, and as well hitting in that L2, which is going to be some sweet crit damage or sweet crit rating to obviously improve the rate of you critting, but also the max 10 of Fury. Like imagine 10 stacks of Fury on a champion that's got a large hit pool. That is something that I really would love to see. I'd love to get an awakened version at 6-star. It'd be absolutely devastating. There's only really 2 synergies that actually benefit. Maybe my playing style, maybe not yours, but mainly it's all about Midnight Pursuit. So with having Moon Knight or Punisher in, medium attacks have a 30% chance to inflict bleed, dealing 50% of base attack as direct damage over 3 seconds. As the moon waxes, the chance to bleed on medium attacks is 100%. But I don't feel there's any decency with Justice on Wheels. The unstoppable side of things, yeah, it's cool, but it's just not something that I play with in my current playing style, which is a bit more kind of aggressive. And then Contest Teammates, this is another usable synergy where critical hits have a 50% chance to inflict bleed, dealing 70% of attack as direct damage over 4.5 seconds. This is the one that I like using with Guillotine. So if you see my Guillotine video, you know that this is the kind of synergy that I like to use. But tactical training doesn't actually improve or kind of help out anything with Night Thrasher. So for me, it's all about Contest Teammates and Midnight Pursuit, which I suppose if you've got the champion that's awakened, then some sort of champion that prolongs the buff of Fury effect could be something that would be a bonus for this particular character. You could even, for a questing team, not even bother with much of a synergy improvement. You could put either that one or the one with Guillotine, and that could be it. I think when it comes to playstyles, it's completely up to you as a player how you choose to do it. I like to build up to the L3 and put in a debilitate. I felt that that may be a good way to go down in order to increase the amount of time for those debuffs, and obviously we want to have a load of them on. However though, you can just do the same method, which is go and do a heavy attack, which, well, knocks down the enemy, which then refreshes those debuff effects. So that can be quite handy. Doing the L1 in different scenarios and different types helps. So if you're in a just normal stance, throwing an SP1 will put a shock debuff on the enemy. I would probably recommend going into a parry just because you've got that time to just stop, pause, hit the L1 and you smack in. Then after that,
do lots of heavy attacks in order to refresh the timer. Then on the L1, try ending with a light attack, hitting into your L1, and then you're able to put on a disorientate debuff. The same thing can be done for a medium ending attack, which will put on an incinerate. So by that time you should have a shock, an incinerate, a disorientate, and you may have been able to get a bleed off. Do a heavy attack, refresh them. And then that helps out if you can then build up to an L2. Not easy to do, but you will be able to do it. But just imagine if you had an awakened version with 10 max fury on, that would be really tasty. And not to mention if at the time you had a taunt debuff on, with all those debuff effects on, man, that would be incredibly, incredibly juicy, tasty, and just a big load of damage. Either way, that has been the video, just kind of deep diving my experience with this character, the best ways to damage output with it, and just some other bits of information which really does point to me really wanting to get this guy awakened at 6-star. Just imagine that. I mean, I'm pretty excited if that could ever be a thing one day. But either way, it's a great champion, very fun, not too bad when unawakened. There's still great damage output out there, but it would be absolutely amazing to just get more from getting that awakened version. So yeah, wouldn't mind a 5-star in the future, but we'll see what happens. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest Champions based content, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.